Oh yes, you have brought the houseboy. Potago. Opotago ya. Master's Igbo felt feathery in in Ugu's ear. It was Igbo colored by the sidling sounds of English, the Igbo of one who speaks English often. Maybe when I learn Igbo, that's how mine will sound. He will work hard, Auntie said. He is very good. He's a very good boy. Just tell him what to do. Thanks, sir. Master grunted in response, watching Ugu and his aunt with a faintly distracted expression, as if their presence made it difficult for him to remember something important. Ugu's aunt patted Ugu's shoulder, whispered that he should do well, and turned to the door. After she left, Master put his glasses back on and faced his book, relaxing further relaxing further into a slanting position, legs stretched out. Even when he turned the pages, he did so with his eyes on the book. Ugu stood by the door, waiting. Sunlight streamed in through the windows, and from time to time a gentle breeze lifted the curtains. The room was silent except for the rustle of Master's page turning. Ugu stood for a while before he began to edge closer and closer to the bookshelf, as though to hide from it. And then, after a while, he sank down to the floor, cradling his raffia bag between his knees. He looked up at the ceiling, so high up, so precisely white. He closed his eyes and tried to reimagine the spacious room with the alien furniture. But he couldn't. He opened his eyes, overcome by a new wonder, and looked around to make sure it was all real. To think that he would sit on this sofa, in these sofas, polish this slippery smooth floor, wash these gauzy curtains. Kedu Afagi, I think I pronounced that one. Kedu Afagi, what's your name? Master asked, startling him. Ugu stood up. What's your name? Master asked again and sat up straight. He filled the armchair, his thick hair that stood high on his head, his muscled arms, his broad shoulders. Ugu had imagined an older man, somebody frail, and now he felt a sudden fear that he might not please his master, who looked so youthfully capable, who looked as if he needed nothing. Ugu, sir, Ugu, and you've come from Ubukba, from Okpi, sir, from Opi, sir. I don't know these places, so if people know these places, let me know where they are. Maybe I'll go there sometime. You could be anything from 12 to 30. Master narrowed his eyes. Probably. Master narrowed his eyes. Probably 13. He said, 13 in English? Yes. Master turned back to his book. Ugu stood there, Master flipped past some pages and looked up. Ngwa, go to the kitchen. Ngwa, go to the, yeah. Oh yeah, be going, be going. There should be something you can eat in the fridge. Yes, sir. Ugu entered the kitchen cautiously, placing one foot slowly after the other. When he saw the white thing, almost as tall as he was, he knew it was the fridge. His aunt had told him about it. A cold ban. It's kind of really villager, really villager. She had said that that kept food. She had said that kept food from going off. He opened it and gasped, and as the cold air rushed into his face, oranges, bread, beer, soft drinks, many things in packets and cans were rearranged on different levels. And at the top, a roasted shimmery chicken, whole but for a leg. Ugu reached out and touched the chicken. The fridge breathed heavily in his ears. He touched the chicken again and licked his fingers before he yanked off the other leg, eating it until he had only cracked, sucked pieces of the bones left in his hand. Next, he broke off some bread, a chunk that have he would have been excited to share with his siblings if a relative had visited and brought it as a gift. He ate quickly before Master could come in and change his mind. All those dirty behavior. Very dirty behavior. But he was suffering now. First time opportunity, he has to grab it like that. I think it's really terrible how we behave when we get but it's human behavior, it's human nature. Where was that? Okay. He had put on a print shirt and a pair of trousers. His toes, which peeked through leather slippers, seemed feminine, perhaps because they are so clean. They belong to the feet of that always wore shoes. What is it? Master asked. Sir, Ugu gestured at the sink. Master came over and turned the metal tap. You should look around the house and put your bags in the first room on the corridor. I am going for a walk to clear my mind. Inugo? This one's not I don't understand. Inugo? You understand? Yes. Yes, sir. Ugu watched him leave through the back door. He was not tall. His walk was brisk, energetic, and he looked like Eziago, the man who held the wrestling record in Ugu's village. And this now by Gaga. Ugu turned off the tap, turned it on again, turned off, on and off, until he was laughing at the magic of the running water and the chicken and the bread that lay blammy in his stomach. He went past the living room and into the corridor. There were books piled on the shelves and the tables in the 3 bedrooms. On the sink and the cabinets in the bathroom, stacked from the floor to the ceiling in the study and in the storeroom. Old journals were stacked next to crates of cokes and cartons of Premier Bear. Some of the books were placed face down, open, as though Master had not finished reading them, but had hesitantly gone to another. Ugu tried to read the titles, but most were too long. too difficult. No parametric methods of African survey, the great chain of being, the Norman impact upon England. He walked on tiptoe from one room to room because his feet felt dirty. And as he did so, he grew increasingly determined to please Master, to stay in his house of meat and cool floors. He was examining the toilet, running his hand over the black plastic seat, when he heard Master's voice. "Here are you, my good man." He said "my good man" in English. Ugu dashed out to the living room. "Sir." "Yes, sir." "What's your name again?" Ugu said. Ugu. Ugu, sir." "Yes, Ugu. Look here. Ine anya. Ni anya. Ni anya. Do you know what that is?" Master pointed, and Ugu looked at the metal box studded with dangerous looking knobs. "No, sir," Ugu said. "It's a radiogram. It's new and very good. It's not like those old gramophones that you have to wind and wind. You have to be very careful around it. Very careful. You must never let water touch it." "Yes, sir. I'm off to play tennis, and then I'll go off to the staff club." Master picked up a few books from the table. "I may be back later, so get settled and have a rest." "Yes, sir." After Ugu watched Master drive out of the compound, he went and stood up beside the radiogram and looked at it carefully without touching it. Then he walked around the house, up and down, touching books and curtains and furniture and plates. And when it got dark, he turned the lights on and marveled at how bright the bulb that dangled from the ceiling was, how it did not cast long shadows on the wall like the palm oil lamp back home. His mother would be preparing the evening meal now, pounding akpu in the mortar, the pistol grasped tightly with both hands. Yeah, you will get muzzled at first. Chijioke, the junior wife, would be tending to the pot of watery soup balanced on 3 stones over the fire. The children would have come back from the stream, and would be taunting and chasing one another under the breadfruit tree. Perhaps Aniluka would be watching them. She was the oldest child in the household now. She was the oldest child in the household now, and as they all sat around the fire to eat, she would speak up. She would break up the fight when the younger one struggled over the strips of dried fish in the soup. She would wait until the apple was eaten and then divide the fish so each child had a piece, and she would keep the biggest for herself, as he always had also done. A bad guy. When I know what thing, senior must take the biggest. Ugu opened the fridge and ate some more bread and chicken, quickly stuffing the food in his mouth while his heart beat as if he were running. Then he dug out extra chunks of meat and pulled out the wings. He slipped the pieces into his shirt pocket before going to the bedroom. He would keep them until his aunt visited, and he would ask her to give them to Aniluka. Perhaps he would ask her to give some to Inesachi, That might make Inisachi finally notice him. He had never been sure exactly how he and Inisachi was related, but he knew that they were from the same Umuna and therefore could never marry. What is Umuna? Yet he wished that his mother would not keep referring to Inisachi as his sister, saying things like, "Please take this palm oil down to Mama Inisachi, and if she is not in, leave it in with your sister." In Inisachi only spoke to him in a vague voice, her eyes unfocused, as if his presence made no difference to her either way. Sometimes she called him Chiejina, the name of his cousin who looked nothing like him. And when he said, "It's me," she would say, "Forgive me, Ugu, my brother," with a distant formality that meant she had no wish to make further conversation. But he liked on going on errand to her house. There were opportunities to find her bent over, finding the firewood or chopping ugu leaves for her mother's pot. Bad guy. Or just sitting outside looking at her younger siblings, her wrapper hanging low enough for him to see the tops of her breasts. Bad guy. This guy just a different dazzle. Ever since they started to push out those pointy breasts, he had wondered if they would feel mushy soft or hard like the unripe fruit from the ube tree. He often wished that Aniluka wasn't so flat-chested. He wondered what was taking her so long anyway, since she and Nisachi were about the same age, so that he could also feel her breast. Aniluka would slap his hand away, of course, and perhaps even slap his face as well. But he would do it quickly, squeeze and run, irritating behavior. And that way, he would at least have an idea and know what to expect when he finally touched Inisachi's. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So that will be all for today. Tomorrow night I'll continue again. I need to get better at this reading because, like I say, I never read for a long time, and I'm reading like a toddler, reading shit. So that's it. Thank you.